Hi, welcome back to my channel. So I am back with more family meal ideas. This week it isn't actually our dinners for the week, but a couple of dishes that I've put together that are perfect for a picnic, barbecues, or just basic summer dining. As usual, they're very cost effective and relatively easy to make. If you do happen to be new around here and you would like more ideas and tips on how to feed your family on a budget, do make sure to hit that red subscribe button and also the little bell next to it. So anyway, I'm going to get cracking and show you what dishes I made. So for the first dish, I get a white cob loaf, and I'm just going to cut the very top of it so that it creates almost like a lid. And then to the inside, we're just going to scoop out the insert of it. I'm going to reserve these breadcrumbs and use them later on. And even if you're just making this meal, it's worth keeping them to the side. All you want to do is scoop it out, not going too deep on the base, still leaving a little layer and a good centimetre to centimetre half around the diameter. And then you're left with something like this. I've kept the bread still on the lid because I like almost like a sandwich feel to it. And this is a picnic loaf that we're going to make. So now the fun part, we've got our insert. I've got some buffalo mozzarella cheese, some sliced beetroot, some sun-dried tomatoes, some char-grilled peppers, some roasted chicken that I just had left over, and mixed salad leaves. Really, you can put whatever you want into this, and all you've got to do is have some fun. I usually layer the base with the salad leaves. That way, if there's any juices from anything, it's not going to give you a soggy bottom, and nobody wants a soggy bottom. Then I layer up some of the chicken. I've done this with ham. So again, you really can cater this loaf to whatever you like in a sandwich. Then I'm popping on some of the cheese, and if you're really particular, once this is sliced, you're going to have like a rainbow effect. You could layer it up to make it look as pretty as you want, but I like to just put it within the flavours. Also, you could separate this in half if you want to cater one side of the picnic loaf for children and another for adults. Just make sure you remember which side is which, and you just keep layering it up. You want to make sure that everything is nice and compacted in, and I usually finish it with a nice layer of something colourful, so making sure that the meat is in the middle layer. And then that's basically it. You can have as much fun as you want with it. We're going to pop the lid on it. Once you pop the lid on the top, it's ideal to leave it way down with the plate on top for about really 30 minutes to an hour, and then you can keep it in the fridge, cover it in cling film, and then just take it on your picnic or have it at home or outside, wherever you're going to eat it. And I've just cut mine in half and put some dressed salad leaves with it. So on to our next dish, we're going to have our roasted chickpea salad. So I've got my tin of chickpeas, a red onion, and for my vegetables, I've went for a red pepper and an orange pepper, and one large sweet potato, and a good clove of garlic, some cider vinegar, medium curry powder, and basically it's a very, very easy dish and a good one for vegetarians. So I just keep my vegetables really chunky and chopping my red onion up into 6/4, peeling the sweet potato, and again we're going to keep it quite chunky so that everything is a similar cooking rate. This will go in the oven for about 45 minutes, the same with the peppers. And all we're going to do is pop it into a tin that can go in the oven with a little bit of olive oil. Once it comes out, you will see it's nice and soft. I've just added my chickpeas. They've just been fried for literally 2 minutes in a little bit of oil. And then we want to mix it all together. And then I'm making the dressing. So 2 cloves of crushed garlic, a little bit of the curry powder, and you want to kick that off just for 2 to 3 minutes. And then we're going to actually take it off the heat before we add our other ingredients. And really, this is just giving you a little bit of dressing so that it isn't so plain. So we've got 2 tablespoons of oil and 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar, and you just whisk it, make sure it is off the heat, making sure that everything is combined. And then you want to add it to your vegetables. Less is more, just enough to coat it to take the blandness away from the chickpeas, and just mix it quite gently because those vegetables will be super soft and it's all nice and combined. And I think it's just a really nice dish, like I said, for vegetarian, and a great one if you're having a barbecue and you want something a little bit different alongside it that's quite filling. Next up, we're going to make my husband's sausage rolls. He's the sausage roll maker in this house. So we're just frying off some onions. We keep them quite chunky because once they're cooked down, they do add a little bit of bite. We've got our sausage meat here. You could also just use the meat from sausages, 2 eggs for binding, a little bit of mustard. We've got some Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper, and some ready rolled puff pastry. You can make your pastry if you fancy. We've got those breadcrumbs from the picnic loaf earlier. I've just processed down. salt and peppered, and then I'm going to add a little bit of chopped parsley as well. And this is so straightforward. So we do it in batches, but we just fry off our sausage meat, and this is going to reduce the amount of time that you need to cook it. We've added some salt and pepper, then our Worcestershire sauce. I always add this. It adds such a kick and just makes it that little bit tastier. If you're using sausages, make sure if they're flavoured that you're not overdoing it in your own seasoning as well. So just literally frying it off and then drain your fat away. I've let it cool and mixed it with the onions, and I'm adding 2 good dollop of mustard. Now we've got quite a few different variations on our sausage roll recipes. At Christmas we like to add cranberries, and we've done a couple of different ones, but if you're trying this out, I would say this is a really good all-rounder sausage roll recipe. And all you want to do is give it a really good mix. Then you're going to add in your breadcrumbs that we've already seasoned and mixed with parsley, and I would do it gradually because you just basically want enough so that it's combined, and make sure that it's not too moist, because that is what's going to make a soggy sausage roll and potentially ruin your pastry. Add in an egg. For this amount of meat, it just took 1 egg for us. And again, just get it all mixed through. Ideally, you'll just get your sleeves rolled up and get it all combined. And we're just going to use the 1 sheet of puff pastry to create 2 big long layers, and all we've done is rolled it over. You can get as fancy as you want. Unfortunately, my husband wasn't playing ball and didn't want to make nice pretty little sausage rolls for my channel, and he does have a point. I wouldn't say he's right, but he has a point. They all taste the same. But do make sure that you just give a little prick on each of the sausage rolls. That will allow the steam once they're cooking to escape. Give it a good wash with egg. That's going to give you the golden crispy puff pastry as well. In the oven for 30 to 40 minutes, just whenever they're nice and crisp. Slice them up and here you go. So delicious, you'll never want shop bought ones again. On to our next dish, we've got lots of spaghetti that I've already cooked and I'm letting to cool. And we just got some sliced peppers here, red and yellow because I have that in. Some sugar snap peas that I've already blanched. And then it looks like a lot of ingredients. Granted, it is quite a bit, but we're going to combine and make a lovely dressing. So we've got spring onions, some sesame seeds, which I will later toast, some ginger, if you've got fresh, that would be the preference. And then we've got some garlic cloves we're going to crush down, some red wine vinegar, sesame oil, soy sauce, the main ingredient which is peanut butter, and then a little drop of honey. And this is going to make really delicious peanut butter noodles. And so in with the crushed garlic and the ginger, I've added half a cup of vegetable oil, a 1/4 cup of rice wine vinegar. This isn't my recipe, so I will link the original down below. A 1/3 cup of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of sesame oil, and then you want to whisk it all together. And I like a good heaped tablespoon of honey. I've just slightly changed that from the original. It just adds a bit of sweetness. And then 3 tablespoons of toasted sesame seeds, and of course that half a cup of smooth peanut butter. Giving it a really good whisk until you get a nice runny sauce, and then you add it to your mix. Usually less is more. My kids absolutely love this, so I go for all of the dressing. Personally, I only like a little bit of it on the side. So you want to really mix that through, get everything combined, making sure that your veg doesn't get caught up in the middle of that spaghetti. You could also try it with some just rice noodles. And there we go, a really cheap dish for just £3 for that volume. And so here's everything for a nice summer day. We've got some little salad sides and then our sausage rolls. This is just half the portion that we made and they're so delicious. Then of course our peanut butter and veg noodle mix, and our chickpea and roasted veg as well. And then a little bit of salad dressing. I just do balsamic vinegar, honey and mustard, some of my red onion marmalade that I make, a little bit of salad, and of course our picnic loaf. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some ideas, guys. If you're new, do make sure to subscribe, like if you enjoyed it, and comment down below your favourite picnic side that you always bring as well. Thank you.